Welcome to today's Whiteboard Wednesday. I'm Steve Brierton, co-head of sales here at DiscoverOrg, and today we're going to learn how to bookend your demo in order to create a sense of urgency and commitment from your prospects. What I often hear from account executives is they get stuck in long, drawn-out sales cycle with no commitment or no next steps from their prospects. And part of this is because we didn't create that sense of urgency, and perhaps we didn't ask the right questions and we didn't get commitment from our prospect. So here are some best practices. Now, for the beginning of your demo, let's create an upfront contract. What this allows you to do is get you and your prospect both on the same page and agreeing to the same things. So this might play out like this. John, I'm going to have to ask you some questions about your business, and I want you to feel comfortable asking me anything you want to know about DiscoverOrg. Is that okay? Yes. Great. And if at any point throughout this you feel that there isn't a fit, can you just be honest with me and let me know and we can call it right there? Sure. Now, likewise, if there is a fit, can we agree that at that point in time we can define what our next steps are? Yes. So what we've done here is we've gotten commitment. We've gotten them to agree to some sort of timeline where we both define what the next steps are if we deem there's a fit. So how do we create the sense of urgency moving forward? When we get to the end of the demo, more often than not, we haven't been dealing with the key decision maker or the ultimate buyer of our solution. So we need to figure out how do we create that sense of urgency and get them to introduce us to their boss, get their boss on the call. So one way to do that is to ask them, John, are you really excited about what you've seen here today? Because if you're not, it's going to be really difficult to get Tony to purchase this. So now that we get asked that question, what we want to do is get him to verbalize why he was excited. That's great, John. What was the most exciting thing that you've seen today? How do you think it's going to impact the business? Now what we do is we get to him to verbalize that value, creating that sense of urgency. And at the end here, to get to our next steps, where we know there's going to have to be another buyer, a question I like to ask is, John, based on what you've seen today, when you go meet with Tony, what concerns do you anticipate him having? What this does is it helps us get any objections out. It also gives John a chance to frame up his concern in Tony's voice so that he's not necessarily responsible for what the worry might be. So now, hopefully you've got some good questions for both the beginning of your demo as well as the end of your demo to take back, to put into place in your sales organization. And if you would, let me know how this worked for you down in the comments section below.